My friends, on Saturdays we are understanding what Vidyaranya, one of the great masters, lived in 11th century, uh, discussed in his book. And he says that knowledge alone can result into awakening, realization, and transformation. What is this awakening? To know the real self. What is this real self? It is the pure consciousness. What is pure consciousness? So, pure consciousness means it is consciousness, a state of being minus body, breath, mind, intellect, and ego. That is what the consciousness. Oh, that is what I am. Yes, because that is the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. And that is what the awakening is. That is what the realization is. So, everything, even if you manufacture a car, you create a model. When the experts create a model of phone and mouse and a house. Architect, we have Dennis knows in detail, but my son also in IT industry, so they say architecture expert, something like this, Dennis, IT architect. So we create a model, and once the model is created, we create a product, and everything in model is gone. So same way, this Vidyaranya creates a model, and that model we are talking about the metaphor. But I'm making again a common sense approach before we go to that model today. Day before yesterday, she is a wonderful woman. She lives nearby, very near to my home in Gilbert, and so she fixed an appointment. She said that she left a corporate job in search of a life mission. Now pay attention, because when you do not follow a model, what happens? And then you get a befitting reply from these beard guys. So she said that I read Buddha. I have been reading Buddha for a couple of months. I have read Krishna. I said, what else you have read? I have read almost all the literature. I said, then what is the result? I'm more confused. Very good. One should be more confused. So she said, what do you mean? I said, what Buddha is teaching from his own experience. Was he confused? Answer this question first. Was he confused? Was Krishna confused? What all those great masters whom you have read? No, they are not confused. So where is the problem? Before you want to search the life mission, first answer the question, why you are so confused? So people do not get it. People do not start from the very beginning. They just ask, crazy questions which has no answer at all. Then I said to her, you should understand what Buddha is teaching, because by that knowledge he became enlightened. And by the same knowledge you are getting confused. How simple it is. It's a common sense approach, I'm not saying anything rocket science. So I told her that, when you are confused by reading Buddha and the great masters, what you will get from me? Another set of confusion. I'm not interested. Why I'm not interested? Because I do not want to confuse more. People do not understand this. I did not say that you have left a corporate job. In search of a life mission, is leaving the corporate job related to your life mission? So when we cannot answer the questions, the mind is confused. So by these metaphors, these masters, this is also a metaphor. When I say physical body, subtle body, causal body, they are simply metaphor. No, once by that model the car is ready and you are driving the car, you are enjoying it. You do not ask who created the car, who was an expert, how he started the journey. You don't ask. How simple it is. The same thing when I realize the real self, all these models and metaphors goes up. You live into the same state of peace and happiness. So Saturday's journey is not exactly a practice. It is an understanding. What is understanding? It is knowledge. What is knowledge? It is awareness. So there is one difference between this type of a knowledge and knowledge of a mouse. This is an object. So the mind has to get the knowledge of a mouse. No. Then what is the difference of the knowledge of the real self? Real self itself is a knowledge. There is no difference. Because where there is a knowledge, there is a consciousness. So consciousness and knowledge are two, not two. They are two, worldly knowledge. They are one, spiritual knowledge. Something like onion. You start peeling the onion, first layer, second layer, third layer. What is left? What is left is nothingness. What is that nothingness? Who knows the nothingness? That is consciousness. That is knowledge. And that is what we can say real self, we can say pure consciousness. So what is required that you sit down on a lazy chair and start contemplating and reflecting. What is the process? You start finding the cause. First you see that I have a body. Yes, body. Now take an example of simple matter. That will make you understand clearly. So what is matter? Matter has a name and the shape. Like gold, silver, body, breath, carbon, house, name and the shape. Now, what is the cause of this name and the shape? That is what we say matter. So this name and the shape is the effect. The car is the effect, mouse is the effect, body is an effect. So the cause is the matter. Find out the cause of the matter. I'm making it very simple. Cause of the matter is electron, atom. Take an atom. What is the cause of an atom? Because you continue to go deeper. That is the way of going deeper. That is the way to become aware of an essence. Knowledge has two parts. One is the meaning, outer meaning. Who are you, Girish? Who are you, David? Who are you, Stephen? But then I have to go deeper. So the matter, from the matter you come to the molecule, molecule to the atom, atom to the electron, proton and neutron, and from there you come to the energy. Oh, the entire matter is energy, what the Einstein says. Convertible. He created a model that is known as a principle to get the essence, the ultimate cause. So matter says the ultimate cause is the energy, but someone knows that. Energy cannot know itself. I know myself. I know that I know is consciousness. That I know is not matter, my friends. Oh, so energy and after. So, what is the cause of the consciousness? Consciousness. Now, what is the cause of that second consciousness? Consciousness. So, ultimate cause, Eastern wisdom says, is the consciousness. So, who am I? I am that consciousness. No, but how do you say that you are consciousness? Because that consciousness is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom at all times. Now see that, what I'm searching for. I'm searching for permanent peace and happiness. Look at it, common sense approach. So, okay, do I want happiness in the morning, not in the afternoon? No, I want happiness in the afternoon also. So who becomes conscious of that happiness? I am. I am consciousness. See that? I don't want happiness in the evening. Have you ever said that? Do you ever say that? No. So I want happiness in all the locations. At home, in the street, while driving, while being with in my relationship. So when I say this, it means I am is present, and that I am is consciousness. How simple it is. No, it's not simple for me, because you are confused, like this beautiful girl, who talked to me day before yesterday. But why I'm confused? Because I identify myself that I am the body. How? Are you sure? Just think it. Ask yourself. The problem, stress, suffering, ignorance comes when I claim I am the body. And I am the body is real. I don't find the cause and effect relationship. I believe you all are getting this. Body is the name and the form. It is an object. It changes. Still I claim I am the body. But body cannot be conscious. Body cannot remain in the same state since birth until now. I am alive means the body constantly changes. It's a dynamic state, health in the sickness. Same thing with the mind, same thing with emotion. Behind that, beyond that, ultimate cause is the pure consciousness. I'm summarizing how this Vidyaranya wants to teach. So last week we came to one conclusion, that there is one consciousness. There are not four consciousnesses. Situation, conditions in the world outside offers me an opportunity to recognize, to become aware of that consciousness which is independent, not the property, product, and a part of anything in the world. The moment it is a part, property, and product of anything, it is the effect. Do you see that? I'm just talking purely in a scientific term. Any part, the moment it is a part, it is an effect, because that part has to be part of some whole. No, I am born by myself. Can you say that? I'm a part of this. Do you see that? Oh, find out. Check yourself. Can you ever say? So when I am a part of someone, and then I superimpose, because of some money, big house, I'm a self-made man. Oh, I know that. What kind of a self-made man you are. So that is a superimposition on the consciousness. We start living with the effect, and the effect always changes. Ultimate cause never changes. Ultimate cause means it is beyond cause and effect. Consciousness is beyond cause and effect. How do you say that? Your mental consciousness yesterday was different from today. But that very consciousness behind the mind is the same. Are you getting it? So one is the meaning and other is the essence. What is the essence? The ultimate cause. What is the meaning? We continue to run after this cause and effect, and we fall into delusion, unnecessary. Look at the number of desires. One person left the job for a life mission. Another person is searching for a job. Desire continues. Desire continues. You see that? We have to drop both. Why? Consciousness is independent. We have to drop both. That is why we say desire for seeking peace and happiness outside in the world causes suffering. Why? Peace and happiness is not outside. So you can also say, I've been talking in other sessions, one is a direct knowledge. Direct knowledge means consciousness is a knowledge. Knowledge is consciousness. Consciousness knows that I am consciousness. Finished. In direct knowledge, you receive the knowledge from a teacher who is teaching from the text. That is indirect knowledge. GPS. You lost the way, and then you put the GPS. So GPS is a pointer. It is an indirect knowledge to help you reach that house. Pay attention. Ultimate cause. Ultimate cause is the consciousness. Nothing less than that, nothing more than that. The moment you say energy, energy means change. Matter means change. Name and the form means change. So where there is a change, I am not. We have to reflect and contemplate. This is what the master says. It does not change. That knowledge which does not change, it remains the same. I'm taking a step further. What is knowledge? Knowledge is perception. Now see that, how masters follows the journey logically. Knowledge is perception. Perception. Knowledge is experience. So where we have reached, when the knowledge varies from a person to person, becomes a challenge to find out which one is true. So our masters have, I would say intelligently, not cleverly, they say mind is impure. That is why it has a different perception. You have a different perception about me. Everyone has a different perception. If I ask you all, define me, you all will define me differently. Supported by the one consciousness. So look at that one consciousness instead of your mind that explains me differently. Do you see that? See how simple it is. We should not become that wonderful women who says that, I read everything and I'm more confused. I read Buddha, I read Krishna. And Sam, I asked, you were not there, so I asked that girl, if what Buddha is teaching to all of us, he entered into enlightenment, that is what he is teaching to us, and you read him and you are confused. So who is right? Ask yourself, who is right? So in the presence of the impurities of the mind, we cannot think in that way. That is why Master says that we need a teacher who should teach from the text to reach to that higher state. If the knowledge remains the same, one thing that needs to be taken care of. Now see the other logic. I'm not using any metaphor. Today I'm just summarizing what Vidyaranya has explained after the end of the 15th chapter, because sometimes we are required. Sometimes it is knowledge. I have a knowledge of stress and suffering, for example. What that means? No, I have a lot of stress in my life. There are a handful of unfortunate people. They always blame and complain that they are always suffering from stress. They are meant for it. God has made them for it. But anyhow, come to the clarity. Now, if I have a right knowledge that I am stress and suffering, I am made up of stress and suffering, I cannot get out of it. Accept it. Why you are searching for peace and happiness? Why you are searching for peace and happiness? No blame, no complaint, no reaction at all. So what will happen? You will become happy. Ultimately, you will become happy. You will recognize that I am not worthy of suffering. Because you are not making any effort. Now see the other side of it. If I have a knowledge of peace and happiness, then it is the right knowledge. And if it is the right knowledge, then I accept it. I reject the rest. And still I am peace and happiness. So now I have to look for what is preventing me to live into that state. So every master says what prevents the mind? Now I explained you that model. And I'm bringing my own model, the gift by the existence. That is also a model, to make us understand the impurities of the mind, the ignorance. We are caught in the cause and effect relationship at every moment in our life, and we do not see the ultimate causes, the consciousness. Because of its presence, body is enlivened, breath, I am alive, mind is working, intellect is working, ego is working. Without that consciousness, nothing works. How simple it is. So what is now see the way the master goes. Oh, you said knowledge, consciousness, perception, and experience in the state of virginity, in the state of pure perception. What is impure perception? Projection. Now see. I perceive you. For example, anyone. I perceive you. Name in the form is okay, but can I go and see behind the name in the form? Can I be aware? Yes, awareness is there. But if I stuck to the name in the form, I start projecting, and that very projection is the impurity. Projection is based on the likes and dislikes, hundreds of preferences, and it gives me the joy and the sorrow. Who knows? I give joy to everyone. Not very sure. I'm never sure. Why? Because I'm not responsible for your peace and happiness. That's very clear. See that, look at it. So our minds perceives or projects. Now the fundamental error that comes, now we are going a little deeper, pay attention. Fundamental error. From there the impurity starts, the projection starts, the fight starts, the violence starts, situation, condition, everything changes. Fundamental error. I see you. No, I don't see you. I see your body. Body is matter. No, but I speak. That speech is matter. Come on, prove that, I see you as a conscious entity. Prove that. You cannot prove that. No, then what happens? Then I superimpose my projection. Look at, you are also a living being. This is just a superimposition. You prove that, I see you as a conscious entity. I see your body. I see your name and form. I see your breath. Now I hear your speech. Speech, sound. Sound energy, matter. Do you see that? Sound energy is matter. Body is moving, physical energy is matter. Prove that that you prove that I am conscious entity. So it means what I project that we all are conscious entities. We are many consciousnesses. Thanks God, English language does not have a plural of consciousness. I am using the consciousnesses, the wrong word, for a right reason. We don't have. See that? So that is, do you see the impurities in the mind? Do you see the ignorance in the mind? How simple it is. How easy. Oh, so it means the objective reality is all matter, which my mind perceives. Another point that Master brings, that Master says whatever is seen by the mind is matter. Why? Mind itself is matter. Matter can see the matter only. Do you see? This is from there we are going. So now anyhow, what happens? Now the first we created that this world is a matter. Okay, let us take that. Now out of that world, something that is moving is a conscious entity. Something is moving. Water is moving in the ocean. You start the fire in your kitchen, that is also moving. Tell me what is not moving. You cannot prove that. You cannot prove, I can bet you cannot prove that other is a conscious entity. It is a superimposition, it is a projection. Until we awaken ourselves, we cannot recognize that you are a conscious entity. Prove it. So what is happening? That is how I want to blow your mind today. So wait for some time. So first thing, what happens? This mind says there are three bases, three entities. One is the material world outside, other is I am an individual, and then there is a supreme consciousness which we say God. Right? That is what we say, we God, and whatever you want to say. God of a religion. Do you see God is separate from you? Say yes. Obviously He is a supreme consciousness, and I am such a small entity, individual consciousness. So what is the principle that we have proved? And that is very clear, that is self-evident. What is seen is matter. Mathematical equation. So if God is seen, should be matter. So there is only one consciousness. So that consciousness, with these projection of the body, mind, breath, intellect, and ego, is called an individual. In that individual, we name it as real self. And it is the same consciousness whose body is the five elements, the entire material universe is known as the God. Now again you divide it into two. No. pot space and the space inside the pot and space outside the pot. Can you see the space outside, inside the pot and outside are two? That is where this master is taking us to. That is the beauty of this journey. That there is only one consciousness. You name it, just for the sake of understanding, we name it. It is pure consciousness. Pure consciousness means minus all the projections, superimpositions, the body, breath, mind, intellect, ego, everything. And that consciousness is all pervading. So when it is all pervading, can you separate God from you? Now see, can you separate? Am I God? Don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. You conclude and you start declaring yourself outside from today, and you say, I am God. Honey, you have to pray me for today. So you are already living in ignorance. You have yet to recognize. Do you see that? On the other side, when you awaken to that, the humility is at the peak. No, your humility is at the peak. You see consciousness everywhere. In honey, in relations, in enemies, in so-called in friends, in the entire universe, consciousness alone is the reality. Out of that consciousness, Jesus said, I think love is God, Jerry. I think perhaps, love is God. Yeah. Kingdom of God is within you. And now I remember, Kingdom of God is within you. Something like that, I don't remember, so you can see that. Can you explain that state of awareness of Jesus? We say, he's sad. Then I become busy in my stress and suffering. This is what is happening to all of us. And Master says this is because of ignorance. See, my friend. See, this is the entire journey of the Eastern Western. Again, I am repeating, it should blow your mind, and you should find the ultimate cause. Whatever is seen in the world by the mind is matter. I see you. I project that you are a living entity, but fact is, my mind says you are a matter. Because consciousness is one reality. So whatever is seen is matter. So if I separate God from me, that is also a matter, which is impossible. That is impossible. God has to be a higher entity than me. That is the beauty of this journey. That ultimately, it is not from outside you see unity. You see your deep inside the heart. It pulsates that all are essentially one. Where I am going? Why should I have an enmity and a conflict? No, at the mental level, we have to talk. We have to communicate. That is why the way I talk to this women, I have to talk through the mind. But internally, you're one state of the consciousness that is living. You now in that state, you see, even the matter does not exist. What exists is consciousness. Wave exists? No. Water exists. That water is consciousness. So ultimately, what happens in realization that what material world you perceive appears as a wave, but the wave also is a consciousness. that brings that sense of consciousness, that brings the sense of humility, and that fills your. Buddha says compassion. Jesus says, kingdom of God is within you. So they are not practicing compassion. There is no other way except they have to live in this world with the compassion. They are all water. Let us close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Being comfortable. Being comfortable, again pay attention. When I say being comfortable, my friends, it is nothing but awareness. So that is what we are going to see. How come this is only awareness of the consciousness? At present, take awareness and consciousness as one. For the sake of language, for the sake of understanding, we use the word awareness and we use the word consciousness. So now you see, you look at the entire body. Pay attention. The moment whatever is seen is matter. Just accept that it is nothing but the matter. Very good. Then I experience what I experience. I experience the sensation, comfort and steadiness in the body. That is very clear. And I have seen the matter, that is the body. Whatever is seen is matter. And then we come to a conclusion, whatever is seen is a projection. It is a wave, nothing more than wave. Why it is a wave? Why you say, how can you say that? It is a part, product, property of some cause. Body, yes. The body is a cause of the matter. Okay, but you said matter is not conscious. Yes, I said yes. Why I say so? Then you are contradicting yourself. No, I am not contradicting. Consciousness is reflected in the mind. That reflection goes into the body, makes the body alive. That is why when I say I consciously experience sensation, comfort and steadiness. Sensation, comfort and steadiness belongs to the body minus consciousness. You don't experience anything. The moment you experience, you separate it. The moment you separate, it is matter. You see, pure logical understanding going to the ultimate cause. What is ultimate cause? Their cause and effect relationship does not exist. It exists only in the material kingdom. That is the journey of the science. Our journey is the ultimate cause. So that is why I say, look inside the sensation, comfort and steadiness. You see the space. Now why I use that paradigm of the space? Space is objectless. Space means empty space. Whether you say space or empty space, they both are same. But the mind is so much confused. So we qualify it with empty space. Space is space. It is objectless. No, you don't know, in my space there are many thoughts. That is why we are crazy. Don't you see that clearly? Oh, space is space. Then what is love? Space is awareness, and awareness is space. You have already found that. Can you Find the effect of the space is awareness and awareness is space. Let me see what effect you find. No, I have to live, think, and speak in the world. I have to eat food. First, realize this. Everything will happen. By birth, we have been eating. We were totally ignorant. 99% of our activities are done naturally. We stand on our feet without knowing what we are doing. Why I am saying so? There is a tremendous fear created by the mind. Fear is also a part of the impurity. What will happen? Nothing will happen. Look at it. My friends, see how simple, common sense approach. Because our mind is so much complex, so this master says, okay, your mind is complex, I'll make it more complex. From the complexity we will understand. So I thought to take a break today to explain you what exactly he is saying, where he is going. Look at the breath again. Oh, you're looking at the breath. Breath is seen. Yes, breath is seen or felt or experienced. It is the same thing. What is seen, felt, experienced is different from me, is matter. You simply say it is matter. And then matter, we will take up matter. Oh, breath is, but I am conscious of the breath. You are conscious of the breath. Breath is not conscious of you. Does that make sense to your mind? Only it requires understanding, nothing else. What did you say? I said, is breath conscious of you? No. So breath is not a conscious entity. That is why it is a matter. Oh, that is right. You have a conviction here and now in the intellect. Why I need a conviction? Conviction takes you to pure awareness of the space behind the thoughts. Let us examine. Unwanted, unwelcome thoughts are coming and going. Let them come and go, my friends. Why I say so? Where these unwanted, unwelcome thoughts are coming and going, it needs a space. What is that space? That space is awareness. Does your mind says you are confusing me? No, I'm not confusing you. I'm fusing you. Plain and simple. Because we do not understand. So master has to apply different techniques. Now see what technique I apply. Thought is unwanted, unwelcome thoughts are there. Yes, it is very near or far, doesn't matter. Whether matter is near or far does not matter. Then what matters? First, awareness. Because I see, I become aware of these thoughts. Hence, it is matter. Second part. All these unwanted, unwelcome thoughts require a space to exist. Waves needs water to exist. What did you say? Yes. So now what we are seeing today, we are aware of the space that is the ultimate cause where all these unwanted, unwelcome thoughts are coming and going. Who knows the space and the unwanted thoughts, the lane number 2? What is that? Intellect. No, intellect is also a matter, yes. Bucket of water is purely a matter and the sun reflects there. So we are talking of the intellect as a reflected consciousness. Did you get it? Well, because you have made your mind complex, so that I have to use those complex language, but fact. When the sun rays falls in the water in the bucket, we have a reflected light. Clear? That intellect is the reflected light who becomes aware of the space behind unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. Yeah. Does your mind say, that seems logical? No, logical no, conviction is there. So what happens? That space, that awareness is different from all the thoughts. It appears whether it's a good thought, bad thought, high thought, low thought, all these are the waves. They appear, they merge into the same water. So what I have to do? I am consciousness. What I have to do? I have to do nothing. I have to do nothing. So when this mind recognizes that we have to do nothing, recognizes and realizes, what happens? What happens to the reflected consciousness? It merges into the same sunlight. Mind merges into the light. That is the meaning, transcending the mind. Have you seen the dogs when they look into the mirror or TV? I was looking yesterday and there was a soccer match and the ball was thrown and the dog started looking behind the TV screen. Oh, the ball was there. Let me find out. This is what is the nature of ignorance. I'm giving you a lot of metaphors coming naturally to my head. Oh, that is what. So the mind has to make an effort to look behind. So what the master says, transcend the mind. What do you mean by transcending the mind? In the mind or the intellect that I thought is not ready to take any action. The moment it takes action, where it has to take action, it has to take an action in the world. And if it has to take action in the world, it means it is already fighting with the duality. My goodness. It is already fighting with the duality, conflict, impurity, ignorance. So that is why we say transcending. Making it very simple. Let us repeat it. You are aware of the body. Can I say, it is, even though it's a wrong language, but in teaching it works. Become aware of the body again. You are already aware of the body. Become aware of the body. for examination, is awareness different from the body or not? Answer is yes. Body cannot be aware of the awareness. Consciousness, I become aware of the body. I. That I am is pure consciousness. So what happens in ignorance? That I am is the body. That I am is the mind. That I am is the intellect. So I am the intellect. It separates the body from itself for a time being. Then I am the mind. Then I am the mind experiences these sensations. Then it goes to the I thought, ego. Ego says, yes, I experience sensation, comfort and steadiness. You are a great teacher. No, I am not a great teacher. You are fooling yourself. I'm sorry to say, but that is the fact. You don't want to leave any base of the mind? Yes. The very basis of the mind is ignorance. We have to transcend the mind. When? Where? All the time. How? I've already told you. Don't ask me how. It means practice. No. It simply means we need an understanding. That is our Saturday's session. Again, I'm saying the same thing. You see that, Master says the same thing in a different language. Are you aware of the body? Yes. Do you experience the sensation, comfort and steadiness? Yes. Are you aware that this body and the experience both are matter? Yes. Go. So when I say go deeper, it means I'm looking into the space. I have already explained whether I say space or empty space. They both are synonym, my friend. No, you are confusing me. Really? You put 50 steps into your house, that room is nothing but the space. Tell me anything happens to the space. I project myself that this room is full. Does the space says you that you have squeezed me so much? It is all over projection, my friend. Again, you throw all the 50 items from your room, the space is the same. Space was the same. When the objects were there, when the objects are not there. What it means, when the world is there, the waves are there, or the waves are not there, the world is not there. What do you mean? It simply means this world appears projected on the consciousness which we are searching. Can I say it again? Yes, simply understand. The way you understand, the waves are projection, but it is nothing but the water, the same thing, the entire world outside. That appears different. It is one consciousness, because when I see they are different and separate and matter, it is all projection. What is projection? Ignorance. What is ignorance? Causes the suffering. This is what is. Do I need to speak? So somewhere that conviction in the intellect says, oh, whether you speak or doesn't, it doesn't matter. Why? They are, they are also a projection. They may be a right projection, but still they are the projections. Where they are projected in the silence. Again, you are making me confused. No, I have spoken. What remains after that, during that brief interval silence? So all speech, all sounds appears on the silence. We forget that ultimate cause. We run after the projections, ignorance. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand. Your mind on the left hand. Raise both your palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. If you have any doubt, you can also ask any question. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. Right before I listened to the lesson and go through it, and we've spoken about this so many times. And today, right before you said close your eyes, I started repeating to myself that awareness is a space, and the space is awareness. And I immediately slipped into a ever expanding space that just became dark and quiet. I could hear you. I can't tell you what you said, so I don't have to listen to this again. But I was clearly in this space, and I've always said I have a very difficult time coming out of meditation, and I believe it was when you were on the third verse of the chanting the Om Shanti. I said, okay, I'm now aware that that meditation is over. It'd be a good idea to come out of this, and I pulled myself out. And it was great. Thank you.
Beautiful. The way you pick up any phrase and find the essence of it. What is the essence? That is an implied understanding. We will talk about. One is the direct understanding. What is direct understanding? Here is Stephen, here is David, and here is Jack. This is direct understanding. But what is in essence? We all are human beings. Behind that, we are only a being. That is what happens in meditation. How are you, David and Jerry?
Good, thank you. Yeah, kind of like Stephen's, extremely deep. I heard you speaking throughout the entire meditation, but to Stephen's point, I couldn't tell you much of what you said. So it was very, very quiet, I guess.
Quite, yes, yes. Yeah, you are right, David. It becomes very difficult to explain that state that the mind has never experienced, but it tries to give the words. And that is beautiful. That is good. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. The mind is, the mind was with you throughout the entire thing, the entire meditation. And the mind is very convicted on the what is real and what is unreal.
Yeah.
And so all the knowledge is able to separate the what is real and unreal. And so the attachment is only on what is real.
Yes, yes.
And then
yes.
everything else, we even, so as we experience these things, we are quickly to know that it's ever changing. So it will come and it'll go.
It will
whatever
go.
it is.
Beautiful. You pick up, I said, you pick up any principle. Ultimately, it goes to the ultimate cause. What is the ultimate cause? The cause is the real. And what are the apparent causes? But fact, they are effects. They are the effects. They are the false. So once we are aware of that, we are there. It's not a big deal. How are you, Cherry?
I'm good. I heard what you said, and it made sense to me. So
I know you had a smile on your face when I said something. I don't remember when.
yeah, I don't remember either. Well, the kingdom of heaven is within. I am not God.
Yeah.
Those are two things that we clear on.
Yes, yes.
And the space is one. The consciousness is one.
It's one.
And everything else is matter.
Everything else is matter. That's a good understanding. Remember, further you have to relate whatever is happening to this body. Nothing happens to the consciousness.
Yeah.
Do you see that? Nothing happens to the real self. Anything may happen to the body, to the mind, to the intellect, to the ego, to the outer situation. Nothing happens. How are you, Sam?
Good. Practice was great today. I found myself naturally doing the nyasa up and down my spine for the majority of the meditation, and I feel like that kept the awareness up.
Good, good. Yeah, I said you pick up everything, but never be attached to anything. That is very important. So when we have that awareness, we can be there. Beautiful. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you, Girish Jha. I'm good. I'm still have this question. I know I have been asking it many times, but still trying to wrap my head around it. And maybe find a different angle to look at it. The nature of ignorance. I understand that ignorance is what restricts me as a consciousness and forces me to see the unreal as real.
Good.
I understand that ignorance itself is false and non-existent.
Beautiful.
And how can anything that is false and non-existent limit the all-pervading consciousness?
Beautiful. That's a beautiful question. How the clouds cover the sun. We say the clouds have covered the sun. How it is possible? It appears possible. That is a greater ignorance. Because in the same sunlight, I see the clouds have covered the sun. Do you see that? Do you see that? So that is why we say knowledge is all pervading. Ignorance, even though it has no beginning and end, but the moment the ignorance comes to an end. We say knowledge never comes to an end. One simple way of putting the logic. Did you get it? So we have to explore. No, I say, we went somewhere yesterday, I'm not going to tell you where, but we say the clouds were there and it started raining. So my honey was saying, you see that, now sun, it disappeared. How can you say sun disappeared? In whose presence? Last point is more important, what I'm going to say. When you say how it is possible, who is saying this?
Probably the consciousness.
You're right. You have answered your question.
But what is the reason for ignorance?
That is a separate topic. Now you have deviated from this. We will answer that in the future session. Definitely, keep that question in your mind. How are you? How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. Sir, I'm good. It was very peaceful. It's like smooth, very homogeneous.
Yeah.
And it's like that. I see that homogeneous can be only in one way. So any thought which is coming, it's actually changing that homogeneity, and it is like every thought is like on top of that smoothness.
Yes.
So that's why that is different. So if I see from that smoothness, it is very calm, very peaceful.
That consciousness is a homogeneous, you can say, the entity all pervading one reality. So what happens when the wave appears in the form of a thought, and then we can say what Dennis has asked, that what exactly is this? So that we identify with that and we say that we are in ignorance, and then we are suffering. It is beautiful. Here we have Ashok. How are you doing?
I am good, and I have some trouble in speaking, so that's why I am not speaking.
No, don't speak.
Everything is fine.
Very, very fine. I will just be with me. After this session, I'll talk to you, or maybe with Akanksha.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Right, sir.
Thank you.